Okay, there we go. Okay. I should back a little bit. I did this last year actually, where I used the 5D to record, and I used this to record the audio. And I finally purchased Logic Pro, and for half an hour I was just screwing around with inputs. It's almost like the system is so powerful. Decrease the gain a little bit here. It's so powerful that can I use the gain on the back too? Is that better? Yeah. So the system, it's so powerful that like just wanting to input your microphone is like an act of God. Okay, so this is a YouTube year in review of the year end. So if you go back, I actually do one of these every year since I think 2015, maybe 2014. And it's so funny to go back and scroll through some of those because there's some good stuff. Maybe I'll link those below. I actually don't know if I did one of these last year, but I should have, because I'm usually bored this time of year. So I'm someone who there's no riding to do and there's no driving to do, so I'm kind of just stuck in the house. But I don't make like a habit of like doing a lot of these throughout the winter. It's just it's a way for me to share news and things that's going on. And I think with the Yeti microphone, Logic, and the 5D, this is the 40mm f2.8 lens, by the way. So the last video I did, the vlog, was a 50mm f1.2. This is a 2.8, so you've got a little bit more. You can see a little bit more of the edges around me. But 40mm is nice because it's not just like my eyes. So I can actually kind of like, I'll probably be out of focus here, but better here. Anyway, I'll get used to this. This is supposed to be unprofessional. Sorry. Okay, so big year. I've got my YouTube page open here. I'm actually, last year, I actually recorded my screen to kind of do, let's see, can I do that? Let's do screen recording. Perfect. So we've got a screen recording going on now. It's better anyway, right? So what I've done is I've done actually last year, but let's go back a little bit. Let's do 2018 first. So this is my YouTube analytics dashboard here. You can see basically everything that needs to be seen there. Yeah, so this was last year, right? Yeah. 2.1 million views, 104,000 watch hours, and 3,000 new subscribers. That's a lot. I think a lot of that actually was because if you look back here, this was a really big time for me because not only did I crash and have a video up of the crash, but I also talked a little bit about Climb's gear protection warranty guarantee, and I also talked about getting the new bike. So all this kind of was a pretty big time of year for me. And you also see the top videos of last year, winter clips of the Golf R, the crash, another crash, and then HomeKit. So if you go forward to 2019, the overall views were down, but look at their revenue change year over year. The revenue is actually pretty much the same. It's a little higher this year, and it's actually not, the year's not even over yet. So, the YouTube views are about 5 days behind. It says December 14th here, but it's actually a little bit delayed. So by January, 10th, I'll kind of be at the end of the year. And I think we'll probably end up with around, 1.7 million views, 75,000 or 80,000 watch hours, 2,000 subscribers. But overall, it was a down year simply because last year was huge for the crash and everything, which, it's one of those things where, if you're an insane person, that can get to be kind of like this bottomless pit of oh man, I got to keep doing stupid shit in order to keep my views up. The beauty of this hobby is that any revenue that I make from YouTube is not thought of in advance. So the revenue isn't driving the content, for me at least not for now. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. I did put together a blog post on this actually because I wanted to kind of go through this step by step. So I'm going to basically kind of use this as my cheat sheet. Maybe I should put this off screen so you guys don't have to. For the last 30 days, it was $448, which is a lot. Definitely my highest month ever of revenue, which is just crazy. And for YouTube takes a lot of that money away. They take about 25% of your revenue before you get it. And then then you also at the end of the year will get a tax form. Now the way it works is Google actually loads up your AdSense account throughout the year with money. If you choose not to take a payout and choose to let it sit, I think they'll let you bank 10 grand. they'll let you keep 10 grand in the assets account before they force you to basically take a payout. And so then I could really wait 2 years, almost 2 years, and not pay any taxes on that revenue because it's not realized revenue, it's in an account. But I usually do a first of year payout anyway because I actually, because I have other hobbies, I actually use a lot of the YouTube money to pay taxes on other things. So it's kind of a cyclical thing, but that's not really worth getting into the nitty-gritty. I've always told people that really the YouTube revenue I use to fund the channel. So this microphone setup was $300, the camera was $3 grand, things like that. I kind of just spend the money on those kind of fun things throughout the year, and I kind of play it up as if, the money goes to it all works out in the end. Anyway, I won't go nitty-gritty about that. Now this year actually was the biggest thing about this year was that my CPM playback numbers was $9.54. So every 1,000 of you that watch that monetized. It gets a little complicated, but basically $9.54 is my per 1,000 playbacks number for this year. For November 2019. But on average, a year ago, it was about $5 CPM. So as that goes up, your revenue goes up, which means you're monetizing. You can monetize the same amount of people for more money. And the reason for that is demographics and the kind of videos you do. So if I was a tech vlogger and did iPhone unboxings all the time, I would have $10, $12, $15 CPM because I do motorcycle videos. Motorcycle videos tend to be guys breaking mirrors, street racing, wheelies, crashes, F-bombs. So a lot of advertisers don't really like advertising on motorcycle channels. So the CPM is a lot lower. So it's a numbers game for motorcycle people where, like the crash, yeah, a lot of people watched it, but it was a super low CPM because no one actually wanted to advertise against it. In fact, YouTube allows me to upload a video and then play that video as a pre-roll ad and buy ads on other channels. And so I uploaded a 1-minute clip of my motorcycle crash, and I went to AdWords and tried to use that video to buy. I was basically becoming an advertiser, saying, "Hey, click here and subscribe to my channel." YouTube didn't allow the crash to be a pre-roll ad. They reviewed it and said, no, we can't let this be an advert because it's a motorcycle crash. So there's a hard limit on those kind of things, anything graphic. So I mentioned that because I'd be making a lot more money if I did tech review videos as opposed to motorcycle videos. But again, that's not really part of the point. But the good news is that my CPM did go up. So if you look at my year ago CPM, it was like $5, and this year the average CPM is $7.50. So even though I didn't gain a lot in viewers, I did make the same amount of revenue overall, or a little bit more. So to kind of go back over 2019 in general, we got $4,088 in total revenue for 2019. Ignore this. This is the estimated revenue minus the premium. So if I go here and I go to, let's do this one. Yeah, there we go. You actually see here, it's actually more like $39.21 is the total because it's including premium revenue. So those of you that pay $10 a month of YouTube Premium, you don't have ads. But the beauty of it is, even though you don't have ads, I still make a little bit of money when you guys watch. So I always tell people, you really should be giving YouTube money. You have a much better experience on YouTube. It includes Google Play Music for free. So if you want to ditch Spotify, pay $10 a month for Google Music, and then you get YouTube for ad-free, which is really nice. And I still get paid. So I would say YouTube Premium is something that I endorse. I'm a subscriber myself. I know that most people on the internet don't like to pay for things, but people spend a lot of time on YouTube. And so if you're spending like an hour a day watching YouTube videos, it's a good use of your money, and you get the Google Play Music streaming for free or included, however you want to do the math. 923,000 video plays this year that YouTube monetized on my behalf. So this is the amount of monetized playbacks that were actually, where can I find that? Where I actually made money, which is really nice. And then 70% of my revenue is from skippable pre-roll video ads. So if you go back to the main page here, looking at pre-roll ads, my numbers are actually off already, 69.6%. So that's the ads that you can skip over. We have bumper ads. It's really the non-skippable ones that I like a lot, because if you look here, see the CPM is $17.31 and $9.20. So this is something that's new for this year for me. This is situations where an advertiser specifically targeted not my channel, but you, the viewers, or my kind of channel. So they actually said, we want to put ads in front of people of a certain demographic watching a certain kind of videos. And in those cases, that's Porter in the background. In those cases, it actually leads to a higher payout for me, $17.31. But if you look at the skippable ads, those can be $11.64, and the banner ads are $5. So banner ads, it's irrelevant stuff. It's stuff they're just throwing stuff out there. They're not paying much for it. But because of the amount of advertisers in the banner ad space, I get more money. But you can see here, let me zoom in, how the CPMs break down. I mean, you definitely want to be in a world where you have those $17 ones. And that's kind of where the big YouTubers come in, where someone says, I really like Unbox Therapy. I'm going to pay for 1 million viewers or 1 day of views for that guy to see my pre-roll ad, and it's non-skippable, and they'll pay like $30 per thousand for that because it's a much more targeted approach. So over time, this will grow for me from 2% to 5%, and you can see how much of a hit that would have. Just 2% of ads being 137. It's a nice breakdown actually. For those of you that they're interested. All right, so traffic source, this kind of goes to show you guys, so I don't have a lot of subscribers. So if you look at subscription status, it's still 94.9% of views are non-subscribers, but the people that subscribe, they watch almost 2 minutes longer. So subscribers are going to click and watch because of me. Non-subscribers are clicking and watching because they're going to scrub through an install video to find that one portion where I mentioned the torque spec, or mention the kind of bolt I'm going to use, or mention a step that they're stuck on. So they're coming from YouTube or Google search, and they're basically going to say, scroll, 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 there it is, thanks a lot, goodbye. Whereas you guys that are watching this video, you're my 4-minute and 21-second people, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, back to revenue source. Back to traffic source. So that's why this is kind of reflected here, where you have... well, let's see if I can refresh this. Where YouTube search is 35% of my watch time, 20% of the watch time is browse features, suggestions 20%, external, that's ADV Writer, Facebook, those kind of things, forums, 14.5%, and then there's the 2% of you that get my notifications, and then there is people that click from end screens, playlists, YouTube ads, that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of different stuff here, but for the most part, subscribers don't really make up a big portion of my my views. That's okay. And if you look at the actual, let's see, which one was it? Video, was it length? Yeah, average view duration. If you break this down, the average view duration is huge for subscribers. So, and I've noticed that again on device type. If you go into device type, this is again, we're still in 2019 here. The actual view duration is the highest among TV people. So if you go on an Apple TV or a Roku or a Chromecast or a Fire Stick or something like that, Xbox, well, I guess that'd be down here in Games Console, you guys actually watch the longest. And that's because it's actually a much better experience. I've got a really high definition camera, high frame rate, good lighting sometimes, and good audio quality. And so on a television screen, it really shines, as opposed to like fails videos where someone's filming vertically on their smartphone. It's really conducive more to a smartphone viewing experience. Now, of course, the actual view count, it's still 52% of people are watching this on a smartphone. Fine, I get it. But that's also the smallest view time. So I will say, like, to all of you, you're really better off watching this on your computer or your game console or your TV. Mobile phone is kind of the worst experience. And every time you drop a phone on your face, think of me and think of the fact that you should probably just go get your computer. And I know that seems like a little bit preachy, but it's just something I really feel strongly about, which is televisions are truly the best viewing experience. I, being a pretty much single guy with no kids, live pretty much alone, I'm able to watch stuff on my television back here all the time. I don't watch any video on my smartphone. I rarely watch video on my computer. I put it on the television, I watch it there, even if it's a short clip, because I want to see it in a larger format. If you have kids, if you've got a wife, boyfriend, whatever, it's harder to watch things on a big screen all the time. I get it, but I like you guys that watch these on TV screens. Okay, so let's go to The subscription source I thought was interesting. Well, then there was one here. If I go down to the main page, and I do this is interesting. If I do by engagement, is that it? No, audience. Yeah. So this is a really interesting one. So we already knew that 92% were not subscribed. That was not an unknown thing. That was interesting that 10.3% of you actually turned on all notifications of this channel, which is the quote bell everyone mentions, which flows between 10 and 30% for most channels. That's something I never really asked you guys to do. I don't think you should do it because, like, if I put up a video about drag racing or a beer tasting or going to Belgium, and you're only here for our 1200 GS Farkle videos, I feel like I've kind of lost a little bit of your goodwill because, you seeing a thumbnail under your subscriptions tab of a GS and my name, you'll click it because that's the kind of content you signed up for. But if you didn't sign up for a travel video to Belgium where we drink beer and we just hang around, it's not really fair for you to be getting a notification about a video of that content. So the fact that 10% of you do this is really 10% of subscribers is really, in my opinion, high. I thought it'd be like 1%. And then for some reason, there's a sub one here, which is subscribers who turned on all notifications for your channel and enabled YouTube notifications is 6.6% of you, which again, it's above the low norm, which is 5%. Pretty cool, actually. I'm never going to ask you guys to get notifications for everything I do because, oh my God, come on. It's like a daily video and most of them don't relate to you guys. No big surprises here that 94.7% of you are male. This is all for 2019 still. No surprise that, I think I did the math here, that, is it 57? Yeah, 57% of you are over the age of 35 years old. This is a non-key demographic for advertisers. They don't want men and they don't want old men anymore. So we are the minority. Well, I'm not 35 yet, but the fact that I only hang out with old dudes and the fact that I am always been a person, like even when I was 20 years old, all my friends were old dudes. I'm not surprised at all by this demographic. I still have my largest subset is 25 to 34-year-olds at 30%. But that's probably skewed by my tech videos and my crash video. I think that the majority of you that watch these videos, non-subscribers, are in that older demographic that are finding my stuff. That's okay. I'm okay with being one of the old guys. It would be great to attract more females, not because I'd make more money. That's not what's driving that statement. What's driving that statement is the fact that I think that there's a stigma in the U.S. around women working on their own bikes and cars. Girls find it to be macho. They're told when they're young that it's a macho thing. It's not macho. It's something that, it's a good skill to have. Women can ride motorcycles too. If you leave the U.S., women ride bikes. If you go to Canada, women ride bikes. They work on their own cars. There's less stigma around it. They're not as young girls being told you're not allowed to do that because it's a boy thing. And so, over time, I think that metric will grow. It was probably 2% actually a couple of years ago. So it is growing for me. I would like more women to watch this channel because the kind of comments that you make too will actually also drive me to be better at my content because I'm not getting any feedback from women. So I don't quite know what you're looking for as far as videos go. So I think that feedback loop is really important. And I wish there were more girls watching. Not because I'm just this sexy man. Sorry, had to go there. Top countries: U.S., U.K., Canada, Germany, and Australia. Belgium's, I think, in the top 10. And then English is number 1, of course, for subtitles. And then if we go to engagement, top videos of the year, an iPad Pro keyboard, which actually made a ton of money. I'll go to that later. A reset your oil reminder light on your VW, which was a big one. The crash. HomeKit tour, and then the BMW TFT system. This is by hours, by the way, not views. So that's 5,000 hours of watch time. Top playlist, the GS Adventure. I've actually got a lot of really nice follow-up comments on my 2018 Trans-Labrador ride. My travel vlogs don't make any money at all, but the long tail of the views, at least, there's no revenue coming from them, but the view count of the Trans-Labrador ride is great. I have people that watch the entire series and send me a long email with questions like, hey, I watched the whole thing. That was awesome. I can't wait to go next year. I had some more questions for you for follow-up questions, which that's super cool. Like I feel like I've become one of those sort of pillars that people use to plan a trip, and it really kind of drives me to do more of those travel videos, even though, like, if you look at my actual revenue, let's see here. You look by top earning videos, and we're in 2019 here. It takes a very long time to get down to a travel video. Like, not even my top 50. Like, I made $13 on the SW Motec Day Pack versus Evo City Tank Bag. You have to go beyond that to see my travel videos, my vlogs, my riding videos, my talk to you guys via the GoPro videos, the Trans-Labrador video, the drives down to Florida and back. All of those vlogs where I do a long-distance trip, no money in that at all. Zero money. And what's most frustrating is, like, my install videos are like, an hour install, an hour of shooting, 30 minutes of editing. That's a quick commitment. But in order to record every single day for 12 days, store it, and then get back and organize that all into days, and then transcode it and actually find the storyline and then actually adopt a story and really, like, make it sticky, in my opinion, and make it have value for the viewer. We're talking about like 4 or 5 days of work in Final Cut Pro after a video like the Trans-Labrador. And, like, then did not have any money come from that. It's like, that's a labor of love. Writing videos for travel is totally a labor of love for me, and I enjoy doing it. But yeah, so overall this year, 10% of my revenue came from the Reset Oil Light, the Bridge keyboard. This video I shot in 2016. I keep changing the year. Keeps making money. Carbon buildup, for some reason, made a lot of money, even though and actually it led CRC to email me and tell me that if I ever need any stuff from them, brake clean, anti-seize, whatever, email them and they'll send me whatever I want. So I've got, like, a sponsorship now from CRC from this video, which is weird. Snowblower video, don't know why that took off, but it has, and I still have the snowblower. I like it a lot. Replacing the battery on your VW, $78. I have made enough money to buy key fob batteries for life from this video. Oil change video, more oil changing, final drive fluid, cleaning fans, all this kind of stuff is pretty cool. And, the YouTube premium revenue is like nothing compared to it. But at the same time, I kind of, and this is an interesting one here, demographic stuff. So people that tend to have $1,200 iPads and are looking to buy $200 keyboards for their iPads tend to be well off. So if you look at this Bridge Pro keyboard video, $18 of the revenue came from YouTube Premium subscribers, because people that happen to be looking at $1,500 iPad accessories happen to also be YouTube Premium subscribers, or people that look at snowblower videos tend to not spend any money on YouTube Premium. I love this kind of stuff. I always love these data kind of points. So interesting stuff. What else was in my blog post here that I'm forgetting? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. I think the lifetime thing was something that I found to be really interesting when I did this before I kind of finished writing the blog post earlier. So you look at lifetime data points from this channel, and it takes a little while to load because it's a lot of data. Go back to 2005, I think. 2006 is when I first got monetized. So you look at this. I mean, obviously not much happened until 2017 when I started to actually really start doing videos. I had videos up before then and they made tons of money, but nothing compared to what I have now. But you look at the overall breakdown here of revenue. You look at the overall geography over time from, it's a lot of data, sorry. For people, obviously US is going to be the biggest one. I actually don't even care about this page that much anymore, but 36% from the US, and then age over time. I'm sure it's skewed lower initially. Yeah, you look at the long tail. I actually have a higher 25 to 34, whereas now it's not as many younger people. And gender is going to be like 98% male, 95% male long term, and then subscription status even worse. So 96.9% of my views were non-subscribers over the years. But Yeah, I'm really happy though. I am. I'm super happy with kind of how this year has gone overall. This actually does not include the Amazon affiliates stuff. So this is something I share because it's a part of the picture, by the way. So this year, Amazon affiliates has been really good to me. So you've got the $4,000 pre-tax that came from AdSense and YouTube, and then you've got an additional $1,187 from Amazon affiliates, which also gets taxed. What they do is they wait 90 days and they send me a gift card, Amazon gift card to use. If you take a check from them, they take like 20% or something ridiculous. So I just use it to buy stuff for the house. If I need cleaning materials or cables and stuff like that, oil, I'll buy it on Amazon and I'll use the money that you guys spend buying things. If you look at earnings and you look at the advertising fees I've gained over time. So this is kind of an idea of what people have bought, the top things people have bought in the last 12 months, and then how much I've made per those sales. Total revenue, though, I mean, $25,000 a year in revenue. And what's interesting is I link to Twisted Throttle, Clearwater, Touratech, Alt-Writer. These don't give me any kickbacks at all. So this is only stuff that I link to that's actually sold on Amazon. So when I link to RevZilla, I'm not getting any money from that. So this is just stuff where you've clicked through and you've bought things from my channel. Pretty cool, actually, right? It is taxed, so take 30% off this roughly. But it is nice that it's an extra thing. So I thank you guys for doing that. That's something that's awesome. I have a few people on Patreon as well that pay me like $6 a month. And while it's like very small, the fact that someone kind of puts their money forward like that is like, holy shit, that's really exciting. So thank you for that. Yeah, but look at this. I mean, you look at the items shipped metric here. So a lot of stuff. I mean, people were buying gear oil, 23 bottles of gear oil, 22 RAM mounts, 21 batteries, pumps, oil filters, oil rinse removals. Last week there were a few sex toys someone bought, which I didn't link to. So what happens when you click this link is that the key is stored for 90 minutes. So if you click my link, add that to your cart, and you go around Amazon and you look for other stuff, such as sex toys, and you add them to your cart and you check out, I don't know who you are. I don't know what session. I don't know what you bought in your session. All I know is I see a daily report that says what was bought on Amazon through my affiliate link. And someone like last week bought a bunch of sex toys, and I got like $4 from that. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your stuff. Yeah, but overall, I mean, I don't look at the earnings. Earnings, again, this is such a small figure for me, especially when it's taxed. But the fact that I can tell a potential person that wants to send me something for my channel that last year $25,000 in stuff was bought that I know of through my channel, that's pretty cool. That's something that I can be like, hey, you could actually get some real sales if you give me stuff to put on my channel. And my camera died. So now we're on the iPhone 11 Pro. Camera died, so I'm going to stop recording here. But yeah, thanks for watching. Here's a setup, by the way, if you guys are curious. There's a setup. We got the 5D Mark IV with the 40mm f2.8 on my old Manfrotto tripod. And then we've got, those of you that are curious, we have the microphone here, iPad Pro with the bridge keyboard, still using it, attached to the iMac. And I love this iMac, by the way. It's really, really cool. It's still the fast single-core iMac that you can get. What's it? Yeah, like 3.6 gigahertz, 8-core machine with 64 gigs of RAM. And that's one thing that in closing, a lot of people are like, man, it's so nice to make money hand over fist on YouTube. Yeah, but it's expensive. Yes, you can do it for cheap, but like I have people will ask me references for like what camera to buy or what laptop to buy, and I'm always helpful, but at the same time, like, when you look at a mature YouTuber, what they have in hardware with them, you're looking at like, $1,200 drone, $2,000 camera, gimbals, microphones, computers. It's like, it's really not a cheap thing to get into, and you don't really make your money back unless you're a top tier person. So it is for love. Should probably blur out my serial number, but whatever. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.